Thank you for joining us. And before we get started with today's video, if you guys like what you're seeing and hearing from the Locked On Senators podcast, go ahead and hit like, smash the subscribe button so you can be the first to know about Sens content. Now, we're going to be doing a ton of these prospect profiles, so if you agree this is someone the Sens should look at or steer clear, leave your comment below so we can hear from you. Now, we got 64 of these, so let's get into it.
All right, Pilsy, coming in at 49 on today's Locked On Senators ranking with an average of 47.25 from the WHL Seattle Thunderbirds, Jordan Gustafson.
And Jordan Gustafson is still playing as we speak, Ross. The Thunderbirds are tied 2-2 in their series with Kamloops in the conference finals. So he's getting a lot of good experience here. And in those playoffs, 16 games played, 4 goals, 10 assists, good for 14 points. Gustafson, he's a left shot center at 5'11", 179 pounds. And in the regular season, he had 58 games played, 23 goals, 29 assists for 52 points.
Oh, he's just a stud, man. And what I like about him too is he's one of those like bigger players, but he also has a soft touch. So you know what I saw, and he's not as big, but I saw a little bit of Logan Brown when I was watching his highlights. Like able to facilitate the puck, able to skate it through the neutral zone. I liked what I saw. What do you think his biggest strength is?
I think the biggest strength is his ability to combine his skating with a good shot. Like when you're able to bring the puck up the ice and if there's no other play, just get a great shot on, you can add a lot of value. You guys know I always talk about those guys that can just bring the puck into the zone and rip it past a goalie for an easy goal. I love that. And I think Jordan Gustafson, he's someone that can do that. And he's got a quick release and he's able to get pucks through traffic. So I was reading on hockeywriters.com. They were saying that he typically is used as a bumper guy on the power play because he's able to get a shot through a defenseman's stick or skates in tight. And if he doesn't have the shot, he's able to facilitate it over to another player that may have a better opportunity than him. And also, he's not just used on the power play, he kills penalties as well. So he's giving himself more opportunities to get played in any situation.
Sorry, Alfie wanted to get in the mix there. Jordan Gustafson is a Canadian kid. You might think Swedish with the name, but he's a Canadian kid from Alberta, born January 20th. He's a left shot. And again, the range for him is pretty large. We've got 31st on Craig Button's list, 39th for Scott Wheeler, 52nd for Elite Prospects, and 67th on Bob McKenzie's list for an average of 47.6 this season with Seattle. 58 games, 23 goals, 29 assists, good for 52 points. And he was a guy who got a cup of coffee last year, played the 23 games, right? That's about all they could play in the WHL. But I love the growth in his game offensively from a guy who only had 4 goals in 23 games to 23 in 58. So I like that trajectory. And I also like that he's a guy to me who probably projects to play center at the next level. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that just because his ability to have a good shot and be able to pass it off and good skating, I think he can remain at the center position here. He's a physical player too, and he's aggressive on the forecheck, so you want your centerman to be focused on that. And what I like about Gustafson too is he often chooses to make the smart, safe play rather than take a chance and make a risky play that's going to get broken up or turned over. So I think that's another quality that can make him a better centerman than a winger.
Yeah, you know what, though? The more I look at it, I didn't like my comparison there. That's why we don't do player comparables. Take off that Logan Brown. Pretend I didn't even say it. But what I do like about him, though, is also that skating ability that you mentioned, too. So he can shoot it. Now, what I'm curious about is he had a lot of production on the power play, and we're going to get to another Seattle Thunderbird draft eligible, and this was a sick team. They were one of the top teams in the WHL this season. On the Western side is Kevin Korchinski is just a facilitator on the back end on the power play. How many of those goals were just Korchinski to Gustafson shot and it's in the back of the net? Which, I mean, he's got to do the job and put it in the back of the net, right? We're not taking anything away from Josh Norris for standing his spot and scoring goals. So I'm excited to see his draft plus 1 year as well. He's a guy where I can see the skill, but I'm kind of understanding the reflection of elite prospects having him down in the 50s and Button up in the 30s. I can see where there'd be some divisiveness about what this guy's true upside is at the next level.
Yeah, this is a classic safe pick, right? Like high floor, low ceiling. I think
Yeah.
what you see is probably what you're going to get with him, which is fine because he's
Yep.
at a great level, but I don't think he's going to burst through or have a breakout season or anything like that.
Yeah, they're still using a pretty old photo, hey, on his on his elite prospects. It looks like that's probably his first training camp with Seattle. The shoulder pads are looking pretty big on him up
Yeah.
there. As we mentioned, January birthday from Alberta, and pulling up his points here or his stats. And again, credit to elite prospects for this, and always a point producer at a younger age. And you like to see that just kind of as they grow older, what kind of pedigree they had coming up. And again, you can't knock the numbers here, eh, Pills?
Yeah, he produces. And I really feel like he's the kind of guy that he's a high character guy that coaches and teammates are going to love. Like, I
Yeah,
think he's just going to be able to fit in wherever he goes. I gave Jordan Gustafson 3 stars, though, just because I think the Sens, they've got guys like that. Like I would say he's kind of comparable to Zach Ostapchuk, right? Like
sure.
in plays the center, has good skating, good shot. So I think they would probably try to find someone with some different attributes, but I wouldn't have a problem if they end up selecting him.
Yeah, you can probably tell from my analysis on this. So I'm kind of like on the fence either way. You can convince me. So I'll go with 3 as well. If they take him, cool, I'll get on board. And if not, I think that he's the kind of guy, when I see his name go off the board, I'm not going to be
You're not going
banging
to be
the table.
upset. Yeah, fair.